Back at it, white chicken chili. I bet a lot of you have your favorite chili that you love to make, white chicken chili. I know I've got probably 3 or 4 varieties of this soup, but I have one that I've settled on as my absolute favorite. Leaning in, excuse me, to grab the book that it comes from. If y'all don't know about, I'm sorry if I don't pronounce it right, but Shauna Niequist, this is the book, Bread and Wine. And you guys, first off, it's a great book. It's stories about life and all sorts of great things, and then there's recipes at the end. It's one of my favorites. If you don't know about this book, check it out. But in here is her recipe for white chicken chili. Part of why I love this recipe so much is it is so simple. It literally is 4 ingredients. That's it. And she even talks about, like, in the book, how you think, 4 ingredients? How in the world would this be tasty? But I'm telling you, you guys, it literally is 4 cans of white beans, a jar of your salsa of choice, 1 box of chicken stock, and chicken. That's it. That's all you do. And really the secret, honestly, is in all the fun toppings that you add on. So I will do fresh cilantro, some fresh squeezed lime juice, some diced avocado, shredded cheese, sour cream. It is delectable. Tyler walked in the door a little bit ago and I said, I have white chicken chili for dinner. And he was like, yes. So it's really good. I'm going to show you how it's done. So my chicken is in the pan. I put a little bit of oil down in there, and then I added my chicken that I've already diced up. This is about 1.5 pounds of chicken. The recipe calls for 1 to 1.5 pounds. I know those packages of chicken breasts can vary, so it's okay if you're not exact. And I let my pan get heated first. That's always really important. Heat that pan first, then add a little bit of cooking oil. I just did a little avocado oil, and then I threw in my diced chicken. And you don't need to cook this all the way through, but you do want to get it almost cooked through. So you let it kind of hang out, give it a stir, let it hang out, give it a stir. Then I will from there be adding my beans, my salsa, my chicken stock, and bring it to a boil, let it simmer, and then turn it down to a simmer and let it hang out for about 30 minutes. And it is so good. And then all the toppings. All right, I have all my beans, my salsa, and my stock in the pan with the chicken. It's simmering and hanging out for the next half hour. A couple little tips I want to add, or tidbits I didn't actually tell you initially, and tips. When you add your cans of beans, you do add the liquid. Sometimes you think, do I drain it? Do I not? But these cans, you just dump the whole thing in. So I'm not typically picky on my beans, but I do the organic ones for this because you're doing the liquid. They're not quite as salty. They're also in that special can, non-BPA. I don't know, some people are worried about that stuff or just want to be more careful. So, and they were on sale, so that's always good. And then another little tip for you with my salsa, look how empty my salsa jar is, because I don't want to waste any of that goodness. So when I opened up my chicken stock, dumped in my salsa, opened up my chicken stock, poured a little bit of chicken stock in here, put the lid on, shook, and then poured the rest of that remaining salsa that was all stuck in here, not coming out when I initially poured it in. One question that you might be having is, what kind of salsa do you use? With this soup, you can obviously do mild, medium, hot, depending on your spicy level. I actually have found that I like a medium salsa the best in this. Feels like it gives it enough of a little bit of a kick, but it's not too spicy. And I'm pretty wimpy about spicy stuff, but you could also do a container of like a salsa fresca if you like things a little more chunky. If you love that, like, bits of tomato and bits of jalapeno and bits of onion in there, you could totally go that direction. I like more of a saucy salsa for this soup personally. Partly I think it's also, I know that I'm gonna hear feedback from my kids about the chunks in the soup, even though they're almost adults. Those are still things that get pointed out to me. So I go for more of a saucy salsa. So you really have, again, some variety with that. Use what you have on hand. It's really flexible. If you don't have quite a pound of chicken, no big deal. But you do want to do your chicken from like its raw state, because the flavor of the juices that are released from the chicken when you're getting those cooked up in the pan really does flavor the soup. You don't want to just buy like a rotisserie chicken and throw it in. You could, but it'll have a different flavor. So those are a few little tidbits for you. I will show you this awesome soup when it comes together in a little bit, and I'll do a little taste testing, and you'll hear me groan because that's what I do, because I love food. All right, see you in a sec. all finished. Zoom in for the just bare soup. Here it is, all simmered out, delicious. Flavors have come together. Nice chunks of chicken. Now here's where I think this soup goes from being really good to exceptional. It's all about the toppings. So start with some fresh lime juice. This adds a really, really nice, just kind of burst of acidity and freshness without being too tart or tangy. It's just that, you know, lime is so good with like spicy flavors. It really helps kind of offset and actually make things kind of, I think, stand out. So definitely don't skip the lime. A little fresh. So actually I'm gonna do my cheese first because cheese is gonna melt in. So I just grated some cheese and I've got that in here, a little bit of cheese. I'm gonna do a dollop of my sour cream and then some fresh cilantro. Some people don't like it. Apparently it tastes like soap to some of you. I don't get it because I think it's awesome. A little bit of fresh green onion. And then I diced up some avocado. That's gonna go on top. OMG, I'm dying. I'm gonna get a spoon. You guys, seriously? Oh, hold on. And a little crush of chips right on top for that added crunch. Because, you know, all the textures, it's all things. It's creamy, it's spicy, it's crunchy, it's tangy, it's comforting. A big old pot of this anytime, but I do love it on a Sunday afternoon. It's been raining today, so on a cold rainy night, this is the meal. There is nothing else that will be served. It's so hearty and delicious and really, really healthy. Dairy-free, gluten-free for those of you that need to eat that way, which is also a bonus, but you don't even feel like you're trying to like sacrifice anything. It's just awesome. Shut up. It's so good. I mean, so good. And I literally did not add anything to that soup pot. No salt, no pepper, nothing. It's just, again, diced fresh chicken breast, 4 cans of Great Northern beans, white beans, 1 box of chicken stock, and 1 jar of salsa. That's it. So good, so simple. You've got to try this. Thank you, Shauna Niequist, sorry, from Bread and Wine book. Get that book too. It's really, really good. All right, enjoy.